Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today I'm going to be showing you some of my favorite Halloween nail polishes. These are mainly Halloween inspired, I'll say, where the majority of these were either released as Halloween collections or polishes, but there are a few in here that aren't, but I still think match the vibes perfectly, so I will save some more thoughts for the end. For now, let me show you some of my favorites. The first polish I have is ILNP's Amber, and this one came out a couple of years ago in a summer collection. It's described as a deep terracotta hued magnetic polish, but it really is living up to its name. It looks like amber on the nails, and I remember when this first came out, I wasn't really feeling it, even though I do love oranges and I did generally like magnetics at the time. It just wasn't calling to me, but now I'm really loving it. I feel like this is such a fun pumpkin magnetic orange. It definitely is a bit more on the sheer jelly side, so even on 3 coats you can see some visible nail line, especially if you do a cat eye effect, but I think it's a little less noticeable if you do the velvet effect, which I think looks so stunning. This is going to be a great base for pumpkin nail art. The next magnetic I have is ILNP's Frankie, and this one did come out in a Halloween collection just last year, and it's described as a monster green magnetic with lime green magnetic pigment and scattered holographic microflakes. This is definitely more in line with the type of magnetics that I love from ILNP, where they're just packed with shimmers and these microflakes. I feel like there's just such a beautiful daintiness to it, and it's obviously so incredibly sparkly, and I just love this color. I love brighter kind of greens, and this is such a fun one for Halloween. If you follow me over on Instagram, you know that I used this shade originally last year, but I reposted it this year when I did some Frankenstein French tips. I absolutely loved it. And the last magnetic that I have is Mooncat Apparition, which is this spooky black magnetic polish that just has the perfect name. This one I don't think originally came out as a part of like a Halloween collection, since Mooncat doesn't really do collections like that, but it is definitely giving all the spooky vibes. It's a very pigmented black base, which I really love, and it has this eerie silvery white kind of magnetic shimmer. Just so cool. Like, I normally don't wear black polish super often, but this is definitely one of my favorites. I do prefer this with the cat eye effect, but honestly with the velvet effect it does look really plush. I did use the horseshoe magnet for all of my velvet swatches, by the way. Then I have Holo Taco's Late Checkout, which came out in their vacation collection last summer. This one immediately gave me like fall, specifically October vibes. It's described as a purple indigo shimmer polish with gold reflective glitters. I guess the indigo comes from like that shimmer. The base color definitely has this like reddish, berry purple kind of leaning color to it. And I think because of that, it sort of makes the gold reflective glitters look more copper, in my opinion. I remember when I first saw this under flash, I thought it was like orange reflective glitter, and honestly I love it because it just makes it so much more perfect for Halloween. In a similar vein, I have Lurid's Creeping Horror, which is described as a rich reddish purple base with a purple to pink shimmer and red reflective glitters. I was super lucky to get this as an extra when I made my last Lurid order, which feels like forever ago, and I was so excited to just look at this polish because it is so up my alley, especially for this time of year. You guys know I just love these kind of berry shades for fall in general, and when it comes to like multi-chromes, I'm especially a sucker for anyone that shifts to red, which this one does. So I thought it was just so pretty, just more of like that magenta pinky leaning color compared to Late Checkout, which is obviously more purple. I forgot to include a clip of this under flash, but I do have a photo here so you can see the red reflective glitter. Speaking of glitter, I have a glitter topper from Tyler's Trinkets, which is called This Is Halloween. And it is just a perfect black and orange holographic glitter topper in a clear base. It came out last year as a part of a trio, and this one was my favorite one. I never got around to sharing them, but at least it's here now. I love this glitter topper. Then I have Glisten and Glow's New Jersey Pine Barrens from Polish Pickup last year. This is a black jelly base that has these multi-chrome large shimmer particles that shift from this golden olivey kind of color to a brighter green and even blue in extreme angles. It is just so cool and kind of like murky and eerie all at the same time. I don't exactly remember the theme for the month that this released, but it definitely has that spooky, eerie vibe, being inspired by the Pine Barrens in New Jersey, because that's where the Jersey Devil lives. And if you don't know what the Jersey Devil is, look up weirdnewjersey.com, especially if you have time, because it's like a whole rabbit hole. It's just so entertaining, to say the least. I do have another ILNP polish. This one is Shapeshifter, which was also from last year's Halloween collection alongside Frankie, and I loved this one. It is just a beautifully rich and warm chocolate jelly base that's filled with this golden metallic microflake. I remember at first almost being confused about seeing this in the Halloween lineup, but then I was like, oh duh, it's supposed to be for werewolves or any kind of shape-shifting cryptid, if you will, and it is just so spooky, and I had to include it in this section surrounded by the woods, because as much as I am a big scaredy cat of the paranormal, even just being in the dark is terrifying for me. Next, I have Morgan Taylor's All Good in the Woods, and I don't remember if this one came out in a fall collection last year or the year before, but this is another one that just gives me eerie, spooky vibes from the woods where I just do not want it. I want nothing to do with it. I want to be safe inside my home. I feel like just looking at this polish reminds me of the feeling of driving down a road where it's pitch black with the woods on either side of you, and you just see whatever is illuminated by the headlights in front of you. Absolutely not. Then I have Zoya's Lilith, which was their color of the month from October last year. And this one is a black based polish with rose gold metallic microflakes. I just love the combination of the rose gold and the black base. It really captures that super dark and enticing feminine energy where it makes you feel sexy and powerful, both of which I do not normally feel on a day-to-day basis, but I just love being able to feel that through nail polish. They really killed it with this shade. It just perfectly captures the dark, spooky, but powerful, witchy energy of October. The next polish I have is Bee's Knees Lacquer Goddess of Rot, which is a wine base with a strong gold to green to blue shifting shimmer. This one came out in the middle of summer, but I fell in love right away, and I just knew it was going to be perfect for October. I love these type of wine reds so much. The name is so perfect, and I feel like it does kind of look like super overripe fruit that's just about to start rotting, but it's still pretty, you know? I just love it so much. I don't know what it is that gives me bloody, spooky vibes, but I'm here for it. I also love that the shimmer shifts to green in extreme lighting. I feel like it kind of can look like a poison apple. And last but certainly not least, I have Night Owl Lacquer's Scary Stories. I picked this up last year when I first tried Night Owl Lacquer, and I was so in love with this shade. It is just the perfect Halloween spooky season polish. It might not look super impressive here on the first coat, but just wait. This is a black base that's filled with a black to red multi-chrome with purple metallic flakies. I'm pretty sure I said it in my original review video that I know we've seen the black black to red combo done to death, but honestly, I see the hype. I know I'm very late to the train, but I especially love this one because of those purple flakies. It's just like so unexpected because they're almost this pastel lavender kind of color, but they somehow are just so eerie and work so well with the shade. And here is my collage of my Halloween favorites. I absolutely love these polishes together. I know the color story isn't exceptionally unique. We have the expected kind of oranges, purples, greens, and blacks, but honestly, I just love that. I'm a fan of these colors, how bright some of them are, and especially the finishes too. So that wraps up my favorite Halloween inspired nail polishes. As always, I can't wait to hear what you think of this lineup, if you have these polishes in your collection, and I would especially love to know what you think of the shades that I included that weren't Halloween specific, because again, I feel like they definitely can still work for the holiday. I know I've mentioned it in previous videos that as much as I do love like a good themed collection, I don't usually end up picking that many up because especially for something like Halloween where it's really just like the one holiday that I guess can be expanded to like the entire month of October. I feel like more often than not it's so easy to just get caught up in like, oh my god, this is so perfect for like this one specific thing, but then you get a lot of them in your collection and suddenly it's overwhelming. So all of that to say, you don't need like Halloween specific polishes. Obviously, if you have like sparkly greens and purples and blacks, I feel like that's more than enough. But that being said, I still love and appreciate like a solid polish that really nails the inspiration. So I'd love to know some of your favorite Halloween faves. You might remember I did a similar video last year where I shared some polishes for my collection, and I feel like the majority of those weren't Halloween inspired or like they weren't released around or specifically for Halloween. But again, the vibes were there. They were giving spooky season for me personally. So I will have that linked in the cards if you do want to watch that. And I actually have so many other favorites that I wanted to include, but I decided to kind of separate them. If you're familiar with my little curated collection series, you know that I've been doing these like different aesthetics or cores. So I will have another video coming out maybe next weekend that centers around more specific like witchy or vampire kind of shades. So if you're excited for that, let me know. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this lineup. Let me know if you love Halloween and what some of your favorite polishes are, or just let me know any and all thoughts that you have down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.